I think one of the things about the current federal charges, as we see the charges right now, one of the charges carries life in prison or the death penalty, which, as you know, is not something we talk a lot about here in Minnesota because we don't have it. So it's intriguing to some people, especially given the emotion involved here. So what should we all know about that even being a possibility here?
Yeah, so the way it works, there are a number of cases where the federal death penalty is an option. In order for the federal death penalty to be put on the table, there's a committee in Washington that meets at the Department of Justice and considers all what we call death penalty eligible cases. That committee will meet. They meet across the country. I mean, this is not just for Minnesota. They have a number of factors that they take into consideration, one of which is uniformity around the country, to try to, do this in a uniform way as much as possible. And that's across administrations. That's not just this administration. And there are experts that have been doing this for a long time. They will then make a recommendation to the Attorney General of the United States, and it'll be her decision ultimately as to whether the death penalty should be in play here.
Also, I wanted to ask you about this suspect's mental capacity, mental state. Could that play into this at all for the defense?
It's always a possibility. I will tell you here, I think it's a tough argument for the defense to make a diminished capacity because there was so much planning, so much forethought, and while that's often an issue and very well could be here, I would bet against it.
Okay. And along those lines, I guess, somebody might ask, well, is there anything that you see right now based on the limited information that you have that would even open the door to the possibility of the defense having room for some sort of bargaining power or plea deal kind of a situation? Is that even, a thing?
Sure, it always is. And here, I would imagine, given that the county is going to pursue first-degree murder charges, which carry life imprisonment, the feds have charges, and they'll go to indictment, I assume, soon, that have life imprisonment and maybe the death penalty. One of, and I don't have any first-hand knowledge of this, but one bargaining chip, for lack of a better term, could be, boy, I'll take life imprisonment as long as I don't have to face the death penalty. And that, that's something that everybody will have to take into consideration. There are a lot of factors in play there.